Hello, today is the 21st day of December 2012, and within this video, we're going to take a look at the daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly, and take a look at how the next 20 periods may look based on if it's in either that of an uptrend, downtrend, or some sort of sideways neutral consolidation period. Within this monthly chart, the upper and lower bands are very much showing indecision or that of the big move to take place very soon, as well as just miscellaneous trend lines, sort of like this one in here. Let's draw this one in, the one that connects these lows in 2009, as well as this trend line in here. So the ones that connects the two peaks, oh, we're at it. The ones that connects these support levels, and again, we're at it. It's expected that when this thing breaks through, it's going to have a failed either breakout or breakdown before. This could very easily be that failed breakout beforehand. But at the same point, we could retrace a little bit lower. What I think will be ideal would be maybe a tracement down to about 23 and a half to scare a bunch of people out, and then boom, up she goes. That would be ideal for me. But what's ideal for other people, it's tough to say. Some people are loving this pullback because they're either A, shorting the market, or they're B, trying to get in at cheaper prices. And then you got the ones that are hating these down movements because they're long on the paper market, or they are not looking to buy and they just want their investment to go higher. So anyway, let's now look at this on all the different time frames, starting within the daily. This is what we're looking at right now. So therefore, how would the next 20 look if, of course, we move this into an uptrend, sideways, or downtrend? Let's start with the downtrend, because right now it's not looking good as it is. So if we did have a downtrend, this is what it would look. The last 20 periods are not real. So this is where we are right in here as of now. And again, if this happens, this would be pretty ideal kind of movements. As far as what would happen if it's just going to stay in a sideways consolidation period, again, we're right here, and then need to have this little bit of choppy nonsense, finding resistance at an area where it was support on Halloween, all that kind of stuff. And when you see this, very much unclear action usually. And on an uptrend, if we happen to go up over the next 20 periods, which would be in this case 17%, then you would look at the possibility of this failed breakdown. And this would be the normal thing that would occur after such an event. Let's look at this now on the weekly chart. So within the weekly chart, obviously I've been talking about these highs and these lows in here and how important they are. So I'm looking, of course, for this to, it's okay to make the lower high, which obviously it already has, but as long as it makes the higher low, this or this, it really doesn't make much of a difference. But obviously when you start to see this thing really going lower, breaking down below 29.28, it's looking like it's just more and more back towards the lower end of this range and a possibility of breaking down. So what would it look like if it broke down? Well, here's a possibility, and it would be something like this. And there's that 20 level that I would be talking about so often. So again, this is the last 20 periods of the market. And right now, of course, the price action has taken us down to 30. So this would be where we are right about now. In this situation, the 26 area, once it gives in, I mean, something like this would just be inevitable. If it's in some sort of sideways consolidation for the next 20 weeks, maybe you might get something within this nature here, and then I'd be saying in this case, well, this is the low. It's a lot lower than I'd want it to be. Now it has to get above this high, and it must make a higher low to this level in here. And that's the type of things I would say. And on the, if it's an uptrend for the next 20 weeks, then it might look something like that. And this would be the area where I'd be stating, okay, this, I'm waiting for it to either go down to 20 or have a confirmation break above this line. And this is the area where if basically if I see it getting to 43, that's good enough for me, and as a breakout above this level. But that would be the what would happen if it was in an uptrend for the week. So now going back to the monthly time frame. Again, I want to focus on these bands here, how they would react on all of the following. So what we'll do in here is we will take a look at the monthly chart if, of course, it was an uptrend. And in here, you see this band going down, and then all of a sudden, sideways and up. And then the upper band, the lower band would have stayed in uptrend the whole duration, and then the rate of ascent would go up something like this. In this type of scenario, this is where in 2013 you would make a move back up to the 50 level, have a little bit of consolidation, and then a nice breakout, and then a small individual period price consolidation. And what's interesting to note is when this thing gets going, there doesn't have to be these 4-month or 5-month sideways consolidation patterns by any means, because if you look at stuff like in here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight up periods, 1 consolidation, and then 3 more up. So it doesn't always have to take its little time. As you can see here in 20 months, a gain of about 90%. And that's most definitely a logical possibility to occur. Now, if this is in a sideways consolidation, then I would look for something just to stay within this range, because it's already developed sideways. So could it do it for some more? Wait and see. I want to do a video soon again about every time silver breaks, has a nice up move, and then has a decent sized pullback, how it pretty much takes around the same amount of time, which is usually around 2 years, 2 years and change. It's already been a year and almost a year and 3/4 now of the consolidation period, going back to 2008, 2006, as well as 2004. But this would be just more of this sideways consolidation nonsense, as I like to put it. And as far as a downtrend, if it occurs, something like this may take place. And obviously the situation is now you see this area of support that would have been resistance in a statement here. And I'd be like, okay, this is where you buy, and everyone would be buying, and the price shoots right up, and then it just comes back down. Now you don't know what to do. So that would be the situation on the monthly time frame. Now, as far as the quarterly is concerned, this is what we have right now as far as the chart, obviously in a nice little uptrend and a small sideways consolidation. So if this were to really continue what it's mostly been doing, and that's having a path of least resistance to the upside, what it may look like is something in the area of this. This would be priced in at 152. And then now when you look back at the old situation where now this would just be a little blimp, sort of like this was a little blimp and this was a little blimp. And yeah, that's what I was wanting to talk about too, all the single times it had its movements. The first one was right in here, and then it broke free. Actually, no, that's what we're in now, excuse me. And then you have this one, you have this one, and then you have this one. Those are the times where it came from an up move, and then it consolidated, and then finally every time broke past resistance. And I guess you could say I'd be having the same similar thing here as well. If, of course, this has some sort of sideways consolidation, it may look something in the area of this here. Unlikely, but obviously something that is definitely possible as well. The situation where you test 50 again, but you're holding above 20 the whole time though. And if this was a downtrend on the quarterly, this would be the scary one for some people. And it would look something maybe like this as we go into 2017 with $10 silver over again. You'd come down and people be like, okay, buy at 20. It shoots up to like 27, but that was a fake. Now 20 support, you break below it, it's resistance, and a resistance again for the second time. And that would be pretty bad. But again, is this possible? Well, right now, people are allowing the bankers to pretty much do what they want to do. And if this is what they want to do, then by all means, this could very well be it. And then you start to say, well, wait a second here. Now that we're testing this Fibonacci level here, there's a possibility with this whole rally from 2003 is a failure. Now, do you really think that's possible? Fundamentally, it doesn't make any sense at all. Unless, of course, you throw in the fundamentals of the complacency amongst the people. And then, of course, the bankers doing what they love to do. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great weekend. Bye-bye.